Hello, guys. Welcome back to Matrix Lab Studio. We're back again with another podcast. Today, I'm here with my friend Deshaun, and we're going to be doing a topic on music and its impact on the youth.
Good day,
How are
man.
you doing, Deshaun?
I'm good, brother. How are you?
Thank you very much for your time. Thank you for coming on to the podcast. I really appreciate you being
Sure.
here.
I appreciate the opportunity.
Let's get to the questions.
All right.
So, what role does music play in your daily life, and how did you first connect with it as a young person?
I mean, music in my daily life is kind of like I kind of treat it like a form of therapy, a form of expressing myself and finding my rhythm in life. That's where it plays a part in my daily life. And ever since I was young, I've always loved music, so it just stuck to me ever since.
As someone like, I'm not really into music as much as like yourself per se, like, but I've been taking a look at DAWs, and it's very like, it's very demanding as like any other skill in life. Like it's certainly a huge talent, and you seem to have like got a grip on it. Like you have some releases on Spotify and whatnot too. Like that's
Actually,
really good. Like
I, well, I tell you this. I'm actually, when it comes to music in my life, like I'm more on the production side. So when it comes to like the business aspect or the publicizing aspect, I'm not really a big fan of that. I'm just a producer. I just
no,
produce music and I just keep producing.
I can understand. Like it's very difficult to manage so many things at once, right?
Yeah.
A really good friend of mine once told me like you can't micromanage every aspect of your life, like doing health, trying to do music, trying to take care of your finances, your money and stuff. Like like
Yeah.
yeah. On to the second question, like who were some of the artists or genres that influenced you growing up, and how did they shape your views, style, or mindset?
Well, it all started off with dancing. I used to dance a lot. Back in like the early 2000s when I was like between the ages like 7 to 13, it was all R&B and like back dance hall, stuff like that. That's what started off my music journey. I was always listening to those things. It wasn't until I got into high school that I started listening to hip hop and I was like, whoa, this is like something new, right? I never knew that this side of music existed or it played such a big role, right? So back to you were saying, what did you say?
Take your time.
What genres and artists is, right?
Genres and artists.
So artists is, shoot, I don't really know much hip hop artists, but my hip hop journey started with Brick Squad. That's where it started off, like Dirty South music. You know what I'm saying? Ludacris. You know what I'm saying? T-Pain, Lil Wayne. You know what I'm saying? There's a bunch of them I can mention. J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar. You know what I'm saying?
J. Cole's really nice.
Like I'm really big fan of like Dreamville, and what's his name, TDE. Like I like those guys, those style guys.
Yeah.
And one of my most influential rappers right now is Chance the Rapper too.
Okay, I know Chance. Yeah,
Yeah, he's
makes
pretty
really
good.
nice music
Real
too.
nice
Yeah.
music.
Oh yeah. I even for myself, like I would just think like music, like I, as someone who was impacted heavily by it, I grew up listening to it. I didn't really understand it as much as I understand it now. Like I can see how like there's a lot of music out there that like I see it do damage to the youth. I'm not sure like what your thoughts on that are. Like there's a there's a lot of beautiful good music out there. Like there are certain rappers out there that don't like even put curse words in their music and
Yeah.
stuff. Like it gets very interesting there. And like as someone who was influenced by music, like possibly even going down a bad path, and like the music is like fueling that and stuff, like would you have any like say on that for like the youth and stuff like
Honestly,
nowadays?
I'm not the right person to come to ask about that. But I will say this: that the music and the direction it's going in right now is not really looking good. You know what I'm saying? Like it's very repetitive. There's a lot of violence.
Yeah, oh
You know
yeah,
what I'm
lots
saying?
of violence, promoting it and stuff.
Promoting all the wrong things. You know what I'm saying? And like for those rappers who are actually trying to make that change, it's hard for them because the people who are promoting the wrong stuff are getting promoted more than the people who are saying the right stuff, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like I'm not big on religion, but there are Christian rappers and they're actually pretty good. You know what I'm saying? But if there were anything that I would change is just maybe the violence.
What are your thoughts on like the demonic stuff? Like people are doing rituals and stuff. They've been doing it on crowds. Like you could find videos online.
Yeah, like that
I'm sure
stuff
you've
just
seen
blows
these.
my mind.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have no idea about what's going on or how they even do that stuff. Or, you know, I'm not really aware of it, but I do know that there is stuff happening behind the scenes that I don't know of.
The selling your soul type
Yeah,
shit.
like all that stuff
shit's
is
crazy.
It is crazy. Like the more the more I think about it, it's kind of like I just want to do what I love. I don't believe in the whole sell your soul thing. I like if I were to get a record deal, that would just set my life like forward, right?
What do you think about like starting your own record?
Oh, it's hard for me because I'm still going through identity issues, trying to find out what I'm going to stand for, what I'm going to stand behind, and what I'm going to stand with, right?
I can
So
understand.
once I figure that all out, then maybe I'll start a record label because I have so many different names, so many different perspectives, and so many different characters playing at the same time, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, once I get that all down pat, then yeah, for sure.
My next question would be on like social influence and identity. How do you think music helps young people express themselves or find their identity?
Well, when you listen to music, it kind of takes you out of your reality, sets you in a different state of mind than you actually are. So when you're listening to music now, it's like you're putting yourself in a position where it's like now I'm in a space where I'm at peace. Now I'm in a space where I can think, where I can just like yeah, music makes you think and feel all these things, but at the same time, it's like it's like it's an escape, right? It's an escape. So like I don't want to not have the thing that's gonna drive me that keeps me motivated, keeps me sane. You know what I'm saying? Keeps me in a good headspace and all that stuff. I can't really say much about that, but like what the influence it has on kids, it's they just fuck, I don't even know.
And every human being's different too, right?
Yeah,
Some
yeah.
people just listen to music for the thrill of it. Like me, the older I got, I started loving the lyrical music. Like J. Cole, for example, he has really nice lyrics. He's talking about some really deep stuff. There are a lot of artists like that, Lil Wayne too. Like these guys, they really talk about some tough times. They talk about like changes they've made from it too. Like it's really beautiful to hear that.
Yeah, back to what I was saying about the influence I was on kids. Like me, I was leaning towards being like, I'm not super conscious, but like being a conscious rapper, more like just talking about how I feel or something I went through. Maybe I seen a cute girl on the bus and I just thought of a song, you know what I'm saying? Something random.
Yeah.
But the way that the industry is going is like, you have to be doing what you say, and if you don't say what you do, you're a capper or whatever. I don't. For me personally, when I hear some of these songs and what they're saying, I'm like, fam, like, what are you doing? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, absolutely.
why are you exposing yourself to that
Yeah.
extent? You know what I'm saying? If you do these things that you say in the songs, that's cool. Do your thing, but you're letting everybody know, and it's like you're not worried about the catch up. You know what I'm saying? You're not worried about the comeback or what's gonna come for you. You know what I'm saying?
No, I really like how you said that, because even me, I'm learning something here in case I ever do decide to like get into music. And there's so many special things about it. It's not just one thing.
Right.
It's your voice, it's the type of words, the lyrics you put in it, and then what's the picture you're trying to set for people around you, not just youth but all of humanity. And you're essentially leaving your voice, and that's another one of the beauties of it.
Yeah.
So you're leaving a piece of yourself on earth.
Yeah, man. That's all what it's about. Building a legacy for yourself, right? I'd rather. I mean, I don't want to pass and just be like, oh yeah, I remember that guy, but he was just a cool guy. I want to do great things. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I would love for my music to influence somebody to steer away from suicide or to be in better mental health. You know what I'm saying? Or help somebody who just got out of a relationship or show somebody a good time. You know what I'm saying? Like I would love my music to do all of that, but like it's a challenge, right?
Absolutely. It's not, making music is certainly not easy, and like it's very big on you that you're pursuing that. Beyond to my fourth question, like, do you think music today influences youth culture differently than past generation, and if so, how?
Well, if you look at it, they go to the past generation music in order to, they use the past generation's music as their own. They recreate it and make it something better. You know what I'm saying? Because they make it more modern. They're modernizing our old culture, right? Back in the days, it didn't used to be as wild in the streets as it is now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like shootings, all this stuff, they used to happen once in a while, and you'd be like, oh my God, what the hell happened? But now it's like that shit's happening every so often. It's like, what the hell's going on?
Now
Yeah.
it's idolized in music
And
too,
it's idolized
unfortunately.
too. Yeah, brother. Like it's crazy. It's crazy. And like I don't want my kids to go to school, go to work, and I have to worry about like goddamn, like you know where the music's at and you know where the world is at, and now you know what I'm saying. Put the pieces together. It's like it's not safe out here no more.
Yeah, absolutely,
It used
man.
to feel a lot more safer years ago, you know, but not nowadays.
Beyond to the fifth question, emotional and mental health effects of music. How does music impact the mental health of young people? And are there certain genres that are particularly uplifting or triggering?
I believe that music is very therapeutic. It helps you put you in a safe place, put you in your own little universe, right? You saying what do I think it does on the mental health, right?
Effects of mental and emotional
Mental
health.
and emotional, yeah. Like it. Well, when you're feeling sad, you listen to slow music. When you're feeling happy, you listen to faster paced music, right?
Yes.
So those are the effects I think it has on the emotions. For your mental now, I mean, it all depends on what you listen to, and how you take it in, how you soak up the information. Because
Yeah.
I know there's people who listen to like probably like soap operas, but they're probably like the most ruthless people in the world. You know what I'm saying? So
Yes.
it all depends. It all depends.
No, I really love how you said that. It's very on point. Like everything you've nailed it completely. Like even me personally, from my experience of it, I would repetitively listen to sad music, and now, like you said, it depends on the person and their perspective of it and how they translate it in their mind, essentially. And when you're listening to not necessarily slow or fast, but even just like sad music, and it's like there's specific things they're talking about. Now there's a clear cut difference between music that heals and music that puts you down, and it all comes down to the perspective.
At the
Really,
end,
yeah. I really like how you said that.
Yeah, respect.
My sixth question would be, can music be a form of therapy or healing for young people dealing with stress, anxiety, or depression? Do you have any examples?
Uh, I mean, I can relate to that because when I'm feeling a certain way, I listen to certain kinds of music. Could be because I don't know, woke up on the wrong side of the bed, or I just got out of a bad relationship, or I just got into an argument with one of my friends, or my mom is nagging me. Something goes wrong. Something goes wrong in my life. I'll turn to the music, put some music on, regather myself, and I would feel okay. You know, I'd feel good. I use this music as a therapeutic thing because like I've been through my own trauma, my own mishaps, and I've made a lot of mistakes in my life. But when I turned to the music to start creating music, I found that voice in me where as I could express myself because I couldn't just tell you what was wrong with me. I didn't know how to because I just thought like I didn't need the help. Not even that I didn't need the help. I didn't want the help because I'm like I can take care of this, but I was going down a real downward spiral. And it was really bad. It was at least 10 years. I was just going downhill.
And especially as men, it becomes difficult because we're kind of molded to not express ourselves to people,
Yeah.
and if we do, it makes us look weak in a sense, and that
Exactly.
is very wrong.
Yeah. That is it, bro. Man.
I would be like to move on to my seventh question, has to do with social media and music trends.
Yeah.
How has social media influenced music trends among young people? Are platforms like TikTok shaping musical taste other platforms as well?
Well, I'll tell you this. According to like stuff I've seen on TikTok, like there was this one guy who was saying like, oh, this guy's song is ass, but his ad is like super fire. So, in my perspective, like that I don't even want to talk about that challenge, bro. But like, there's this like they do challenges and like their music on TikTok is not bad. It's not bad. Once you warm up to it, you can enjoy it potentially. But like, I just feel like the world is at a point where they're entertaining really stupid things. You
Yeah.
know, they're entertaining all the wrong things and all the right things that they're just ignoring it. You know what I'm saying?
I actually talked about that on my last podcast with Ahmed too. Like he was saying there's a lot of brain rot. You see the most like bizarre content nowadays
Yeah.
on social media
That's
alone.
exactly it.
Yeah.
That's exactly it.
My eighth question would be, do you think the popularity of certain genres on social media affects youth behaviors or values?
I don't think the genre has anything to do about it. In my perspective, we're all pretty much saying the same thing, just different ways. So if you like a certain genre, you're just gonna hear the same thing they're saying in a different genre. It just doesn't sound the same, right? It all depends.
Oh yeah. And now like nowadays like you can essentially even come up with your own genre.
Yeah,
There's a couple new ones
potentially.
being made.
Yeah. I haven't heard any new ones. Like I just recently discovered indie, and I really don't know what that is. But what like if you were to ask me what genre I classify myself, I wouldn't say hip hop. I can't say R&B, but I don't know if trap soul is a category or if it's
It
just
is,
like
it
a,
is.
it is.
Yes.
Well, I don't want to say that because I'm not trying to make any claims right now.
No,
I
of
say
course.
indie because I felt like indie was like it wasn't hip hop, it wasn't R&B, it was kind of like whatever, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that can anything can change, you know?
Absolutely. Then times are always changing.
Yeah.
Time is of the essence.
For sure.
My ninth question talks about lyrics, messaging, and morality.
Right.
How do lyrics impact young listeners? And do you think explicit or controversial lyrics have a negative or positive influence?
I mean, I'll tell you this. I mean, the kids that are running around now are so full of expression. It's crazy now. It's getting crazy out of hand. Like I never thought I'd see the day that I'd see so much expression from people. You know, back when I grew up, everybody was kind of like more. They were less expressive, right?
Yeah.
But nowadays they don't care. Nowadays they don't care. All the young kids, they don't care.
I've heard somewhere too, like being an emotional person, it's dangerous. Now it depends on how you're emotional, right? If
Yeah.
you're going and if you're physically expressing like a negative way would be going out or trying to hurt others.
Yeah.
Of course, like then there's like having your regular outlets. Music is a really good one. Video games. Now video games are an influence of their own. And
Yeah.
then you have like certain people that you talk to, they can either make, shape, or break your perspective on
Right.
certain things.
Yeah. So what was the second part of your question again?
It was, do you think explicit or controversial lyrics have a negative or positive influence?
I'm 50-50 with that because the fact that we as a society are now more expressive, a lot of people aren't because of their own issues, but being more expressive, like that the influence that the music has on the youth and stuff, it's not the best, but I like the direction it's going. Like everybody's just expressing themselves now. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's just trying to get whatever's on their chest out. Everybody wants to breathe. Everybody wants to just be at peace, right?
That's understandable. I was like, I don't make music, but I do make various forms of content. Like, I try to use I consider it a career, entrepreneurship. I try to use that as an outlet. And you have to be careful because I'm not sure necessarily, like, it depends on the little things that you're doing, whether you're releasing music, how you're feeling. For me, it's like if I'm doing business and I'm feeling like very hurt, for say, like what are my actions gonna be in that aspect of business, or just what my movements are, how am I gonna talk to the people around me.
Right.
For music, and maybe like the things you might say into the mic, maybe you might have an input on that.
I mean, no, like you're absolutely right. Like it all comes down to perspective in the end, right? You just gotta. My advice to you would be is whatever your niche is, or like yours is video content, right?
It's a
A
variety,
variety
like
of things, but
yeah.
like that's dangerous. That's the bad thing, right? They say focus on one, master that, then go on to the next one.
I get told that a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like me, I have ADHD, right? So the pros and cons to it are very different. Like me, I can handle multiple tasks, but then at the same time, I'll get lost in those multiple tasks.
Right.
Like you will see me, like, I'm doing the podcast. I just got into 3D printing recently. I have FL and I'm been trying to like work on some beats, some music for like videos and stuff. I have my small photo and video business as well, which I'm trying to grow. I've been building the websites for it, and I've been trying to outsource as less as possible. Like, and like, I get a lot of mixed perspectives on this. It puts me in, not always, but sometimes it puts me in a tough spot because now I have to sit there and think like, people aren't wrong in what they're telling me. And I feel like at a certain age, I'll reach that point where I won't be able to handle the number of things. Because when you're young, you're everything about you's young. Your mind, your body, you can essentially take on many tasks. And this is my like view of it. And I really appreciate you sharing the advice with me to
Yeah.
focus on one thing. It's definitely something a lot of people have advised me to do. And I'm just trying to like grow my team so I want to have systems in place so that I can do a bunch of other things as well.
Right.
So I'm trying to figure out how I can make those systems.
Well, it all starts with one, right? So
Yeah.
it all starts with one. Once you master that one, then you can do the next, no problem.
No, you're right.
I'm in the same boat as you. I feel like I could do 12 different things one time, but then look what happens. Nothing gets done.
Yeah, I've heard like focusing on 12 cups, like none will get filled, but if you focus on one full cup is that better than like 12 half-filled cups.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
My 10th question would be, are there any songs or genres that you feel send an important message to today's youth?
Important message to today's youth. A song or genre? But right now, the music industry is not in the best condition. So like,
No, I agree with that.
I can't even say like there's a message per se. But there's some artists who are trying to give me an example. Like, I'll give you an example. Like Lil Durk, when he put out that song "All My Life," that was a real good one. You know
That
what
was a
I'm saying? That was a
really
real good
beautiful
project.
song.
You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Incorporating all the kids. Standing up for his neighborhood, for his word and everything.
Talking about like the wrongdoings in the past and the changes he's made
That
from
was a
it.
beautiful project.
It was very beautiful.
Project.
Oh yeah.
Stuff like that. We need more stuff like that.
It was a collab with J. Cole too.
J.
Yeah,
Cole's
it
on
was
it.
really
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah, brother, it was a really good song. But what was the second part of the question?
It was one part. Are
Okay.
there any songs or genres that you feel send an important message to today's youth?
Yeah, I can't answer that.
No, I understand completely. Even for myself, it's like you said, right? Perspective, and really every genre. You can even find drill music that promotes the opposite of what drill actually is.
So
Now, I'm not against it or anything. It's
I'm not.
pretty cool genre, but
Real cool.
I can see how it sends the wrong message to a lot of youth. Makes them
It could potentially lead somebody to make a wrong decision. You know what I'm saying?
potentially ruin their life per se, and like
I don't know.
the last section of this podcast, it's on community and connectivity.
Alright.
The 11th question is, how does music bring young people together, and have you experienced any sense of community through music?
My circle is really small, so when it comes to community, like I haven't really put myself out there yet. So like I'm still working towards like getting on Spotify and TikTok and all them other stuff. I'm an underground artist, right? Like I'm not out in the public yet, but uh, in terms of sense of community, like I don't my community is really small. So I don't know how to answer that in to a bigger scale, but What was the question again?
How does music bring young people together?
Yeah.
And the second part of it was, have you experienced any sense of community through music?
Well, you should see like when these guys are like they're playing their music and the way that they like when you watch the music videos, you see how everybody's just like they're all together in the music video.
Oh
Like
yeah.
it brings people together. Don't matter the genre, drill, R&B, trap, soul, hip hop. It don't matter. It brings people together. And anytime I watch these music videos, I'm like, damn, I would love to be there. You know what I'm saying? Just to feel that
Oh
vibe.
yeah.
It might all be for the camera. You know what I'm saying? But
No, I
in the end,
understand.
like when you're watching these things, you're like, damn, like that looks like a vibe. You know what I'm saying? Like I
Yeah.
don't know. There's like something about music, especially nowadays, that just makes you feel so alive. And
Oh
I
yeah.
understand why a lot of people are turning to music, right?
Yeah, that makes sense. I can understand that too. Like, I'm not sure. Like, I can't say 100%, but certainly I can't even really think of what the percentage might be, but I'm sure it's a good percentage out there. They are very true with the community and the people they bring on.
It's always like
And
that.
yeah, like there's a lot of giving back that they show, and
Yeah.
essentially it's promoting to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not all bad. They do good things. It's just that it's unfortunate that a lot of these artists, rappers, for instance, have like they have issues and stuff, right?
Yes. And they come from the hard places too. They a lot of them talk about the challenges that they faced, and you can't really even play the blame game essentially
You
with
can't.
them. And yeah,
Yeah,
like
that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't want to say that music nowadays has like a negative influence on the youth. I can't say that because in the end, it all comes down to a decision, right?
yes,
So
absolutely.
no matter what you listen to, no matter what you're watching, it comes down to a decision. It's either you decide to do wrong or you decide to do right.
I would add understanding to that too, because like if when the decision is there, but also like if you can understand the decision, and not everyone has to do that, right? It comes down to the person and their perspective.
That's true.
It for me it has its own cons. Sometimes I think I'm overly understanding.
Yeah.
Sometimes I wish I wasn't. No, it puts me in a tough spot sometimes, but the understanding, you just get to know why. There's a lot of like whys out there. It's no answer for it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I heard that.
My last question for community and connectivity would be, what changes do you hope to see in the music industry to better serve or inspire today's youth?
I just I hope the violence stops, or at least, yeah, I hope the violence stops. I hope the rate goes down,
Yeah.
and like, I hope people can at least take this avenue and turn it into something beautiful. You know what I mean? Like,
That makes sense.
I love the way that the music brings people together, but it could also drive us apart the same way, right?
Absolutely. We've seen that happen in the communities before.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
There are lots of labels out there that cheat their artists and stuff. Artists
Oh
aren't
man, that's the
happy.
worst.
They're forced to make music and stuff. Then it affects people around them too, and their treatment of those people around them. There's other ones too where the artists are going through a rough patch, like for example, addiction and stuff. And I don't know if you know about like Lil Peep, but apparently like his own crew killed him. They were giving him laced Xanax.
See, like shit like that,
Yeah,
bro.
like
But like I know, rest in peace to Lil Peep, but like think about it like this: what are they really doing? Was that because of the music, or was that because of something else?
I never looked into it enough, and
You know what I'm saying?
I'm not even sure.
Like that's what it all comes down to. Like this music is just like it's kind of like reading a book, right? You pick up any book. If you read a book about a murder mystery, it's not gonna you're not gonna wake up and say I'm gonna go do a murder
Of
mystery.
course,
You know
yes.
what I'm saying? Like it's I don't know, man. That's crazy. I never knew that. I never knew that.
No, yeah, like me for that one, I learned about it from someone else, and even for other artists, like even in like hip hop, rap, like you see, there are artists who take care of the people around them, and then there are people around the artists that try and bring them down. And it's not always that they do it knowingly. Sometimes they're just it's who they possibly are, and they're influencing someone to commit some form of evil, and it comes to bite them back, and it essentially destroys their career. And like for some artists, you know, if they have a big enough PR team, you get brushed underneath the table.
Absolutely.
Would you have anything else to add before we wrap up? Any questions for me?
Trying to think. I'm kind of like my headspace. Like I haven't done this before. I haven't done podcasts and stuff. So like I'm not used to like being on camera, being asked like big questions that I have to take time to think about. You know what I'm saying?
I'm very truly grateful to have you here, and I really appreciate your time.
I wish I would have came prepared, dog.
Well, in life, like I heard this saying once, like you can never be ready, you can only be prepared.
Right.
And nobody's perfect. You've clearly done your best here, to be very honest, and I'm sure there are viewers out there who will watch this, listen to this, and it'll shape and make their perspectives into their life, into the future.
Hopefully. Yeah, man.
Well, Deshaun, thank you very much for your time, my friend.
Thank you too.
I really appreciate you coming on here, and
sure.
I hope I can have you back again for next time.
Awesome, brother.
Alrighty.